Hey Raindrops, now before we get into this video, I want to talk to you about joining my community. Yes, my YouTube community of subscribers. So make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. It helps build the channel and build our community. I love it when you guys comment and post. So remember, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel.
Man, well, listen, and look, I'm excited to talk to you today, man. I love and marriage Detroit. It ain't no secret. I am biased. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm from. So these stories are very personal for me and for a lot of other people in the world, man. So first of all, thank you, bro, for participating in this and just kind of showing Detroit to the world, man. How was your experience being, bro, being on TV?
Man, it's been pretty good. I can't complain. It was
Yeah.
a necessary. I didn't have I kind of had to make that move.
Okay. Okay. What makes you say that, Anthony?
Like the story. I was
Hmm.
out there and going back and forth to Atlanta at Disney Marvel Studios, and
Hmm.
I've been working in music for so long, and I wanted to figure out how to transition over to TV and film, not
Okay.
leaving music, but add to it. And
Right.
when I had to make a decision, I chose my queen over that paper. You
Yep.
know, this opportunity was like, hey, I got to take this.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, man. And you made a good choice too, because listen, you and
And
Dr. Latoya Thompson are a force to be reckoned with, man. Y'all got such a beautiful black family, man. Now, we haven't actually gotten to check in with the kids yet in season two. So update us on your beautiful children, man. How they doing?
Man, the kids are excellent, man. They
That's
are
good.
honor roll students, always very, very smart children. My oldest football, he one of the top little league football players. In fact, Ohio State worked him out this summer.
Oh man.
Track AU star, one of the fastest. And then my middle son, Aiden, is a soccer player. He's on an elite team, traveling everywhere. Like he's going to do tournaments in Ohio and different places next month. And then my daughter, she just started cheerleading this year. She's in the
Okay.
first grade now, so it's like she coming up the ranks.
That's cool,
Very
man.
athletic. Yeah.
That's cool. We love to see that. I love how you all always talked about keeping your kids engaged in activities and busy and juggling like all those schedules while wearing the other hats that y'all wear, man. So kudos to you and
Appreciate
Dr. Thompson, man. Now I noticed one thing though, since we are in season two of Love and Marriage Detroit, I did notice one thing has been consistent since you have been a part of the cast this season, and that's the apparel, man. You've been wearing some fly hoodies, some fly sweatsuits, man. Is
it.
that a part of your company, the AT Networks company, or what does that apparel line come from, bro?
Actually, I've worked in fashion a long time.
Okay.
My production company, this is our merch, but I actually had a brand called the Upper Row where I did cut and sew fashion. I
Oh
had
man.
a store downtown Detroit, Midtown Detroit, and I did suits, dresses, name it, tech packs, cut and sew. But during the
Mm,
pandemic, I had to make a decision to whether keep the studio open or keep the clothing store open. So I shut the clothing company down because production is my thing. I wasn't
yeah.
gonna shut that down. So, you
Yeah.
know, I was supposed to bring it back after the pandemic, but I'm like, man, I'm just gonna do merch and just do
Okay.
the street fashion. And then later on, I'm gonna come back in fashion. I'm gonna do collaborations so I don't have to manage it because I'm taking
Yeah.
something off my plate. I'm tired of
Yeah.
managing 5 million things.
I hear it, bro. So is that merch available for purchase? Can the viewers get it anywhere? The merch from
Yeah,
your
yeah.
company?
At 18network.tv, we actually revamping the site right now. And
Okay.
yeah, people you'll see even the show, different people is wearing it. Even when you saw shout out to Kristina, she wore the Detroit Luxury Fashion when it's season one. She had that
That's
on.
what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. I also know that you have another new project. I believe it's an animated series coming, right? The Backpack Kids.
Yeah, we shopping that right now. In fact, I
Okay.
wanted to get that over to Carlos out
Okay.
of loyalty because it's like, can we
Yeah.
work on something together? But also like Sony Pictures and BET, I done got that stuff over to them recently. So I got some scripts I've written that for some series too. That I got plenty of stuff that's on deck.
That's what's up, Anthony. And you all speaking of stuff on deck. I know you have the Culture Conversations
Uh,
podcast right now, right?
yeah.
Okay, now where can everybody listen and watch that?
It's on AT Network YouTube channel. We actually are steady. You know how I go with podcasts, and we building it out. We about to
Hmm.
add a new segment in the next month. We're gonna add a new segment to the podcast,
That's
and
what's up.
man, it's just beautiful the way God building it out, staying on brand.
That's what's up, man. And what do you when you talk about AT Networks and your incredible brand of just overall entertainment production and development, right? What
Correct.
is your ultimate goal with AT Networks? Where do you see it in the future, Anthony?
Okay. AT Network is a production company and studio. And
Hmm.
so until I started doing this show, I've always been behind the scenes. So we were been developing a lot of projects behind the scenes. So where we're going with it is we are building a new ecosystem for the state of Michigan. So we working on getting a bigger studio and expanding. And then we're building a streaming platform. So that option to be there so that people can also have another distribution platform. So
Incredible.
AT Network, we're gonna keep putting out content. We're gonna give others opportunities, and we're just looking to work with and help build up the state of Michigan. That's our focus.
That's what's up. So are you all like taking any solicitations from local talent or aspiring creators from
We
over the country, or where should people hit you guys up at?
We will be soon. Uh,
Hmm.
we're actually revamping the website now, and then
Hmm.
the next project that's on the wheelhouse is for us to build a streaming platform. Because on our platform, it's going to be for TV, film, podcasting, internet radio, all these different things. And our new studio is going to be a little different. It's going to be co-working, so
Oh,
that
dope.
people will be able to come in, work, and the people that's a part of the co-working studio will be able to have distribution as well in that deal.
Dope. That's gonna make you a lot of money. I just heard the cash register sign going off in
Oh
my head
yeah,
when you said that, bro. That's a
but it's gonna
money
make
maker, man.
everybody a lot of money. That's what
Yeah.
the key is.
Absolutely. Share that wealth, bro. So
Absolutely.
you listen, you have been a core integral part of the Love and Marriage Detroit cast season one. You stood out, your personality and your willingness to kind of just contribute to the story of the show. It was
Mhm.
different from what we typically seen on ensemble cast shows, especially from the husbands, right? Typically they kind of play the background, and you found your own way of kind of weaving yourself into the fabric of the show, man. Are you having a good time doing that? Are you having fun participating in Love and Marriage Detroit, Anthony?
Oh, absolutely. The thing is that I felt like I did what I needed to do to push everybody.
Hmm.
I know that a lot of people were uncomfortable season one. They were
Hmm.
uncomfortable, they didn't know, no one knew what to expect, but I've actually seen it though, production. So
Hmm.
it was like, let's drive these conversations. Let's push these
Hmm.
conversations. I want to ask the questions and make the statements that people want to hear. They want to know.
Yeah.
So that was really my focus, and I'm gonna have fun. If you're
Yeah.
not laughing, I'm gonna at least laugh.
You can tell, man, especially in moments where like the temperature or the energy might be a little testy. It seems like even in you being dead ass serious in the scene, you still add a little bit of comedy and a little levity to those moments, and it makes it much more enjoyable to watch. Has that been your strategy, like as you film the show, or have you just been kind of being, authentically Anthony?
Well, it's a mixture.
Okay.
First of all, the fabric we come from here in Michigan.
For
Like you've
sure.
been at the lunchroom table, we crack jokes.
Yep.
And we go in. And really, if you pay attention to season one, how it started off was the fellas, we was tight knit, just kicking it. And people don't pay attention that Brandon started with me saying, what do you do? Tommy calling me Tommy and all these different things. No one
Armani.
really that I've helped you a lot, dog. Quit playing. But I was cool with it. Like, this is TV. But yeah, I had a lot of fun filming, and some of it was just me pushing the envelope, trying to push people so that the show not boring. Because I feel
Yeah.
like if I'm bored in this scene, I know everybody else bored.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you and Dr. Thompson, for those who don't know, because I don't really think we've had a chance to really hear your say on a lot of things thus far. How did you and Dr. Thompson become part of the show, part of the cast?
Oh, okay. Well, it's funny that I knew about the show when I wasn't in Detroit.
Really?
So we all know the same people that's on the cast. So I know a
Hmm.
lot of my friends was casting for it. I mean, well, you don't know these people like Joey, that with Hennessy, all these different
Hmm.
people, they was like talking to everybody. I knew about it. People mentioned me, but I again was flying. I was at Disney Marvel. I was like, I ain't thinking about what y'all talking about. I'm on $150 million sets. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to make this happen because
Yeah.
this opportunity don't come all the time. So a friend of mine was on the production team in Huntsville. And
Mm-hmm.
so me and him was supposed to pitch shows together. While I was at Disney Marvel, he was working with Nickelodeon. He was working on the Huntsville project. I had never really heard of it. Then he said, "Yeah, Carlos, this Carlos show." I said, "Carlos from the D, from the East Side," because I knew about him with the Housewives.
Right, right.
Yeah, I said, "Oh shoot." I'm heading back home because me and my wife's situation, we going to counseling. We trying to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that we stay together. So
Mm-hmm.
after 8 months, I made a decision. Let me go back to Detroit. I told everybody I was on my way back. Brandon came by my studio one day. He's like, "Hey, Doug, what you think about?" He said, "You heard about that, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What you think about it?" I was all like, I'm gonna talk to her." He said, "You gonna do it?" I was all like, "Yeah, I'm gonna see what she say." Like, I'm gonna,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna see if she'd do it because I was looking like I might come on by myself. I was gonna holler at them, see if I can come on by myself.
Yeah.
God, I didn't, because it'd have been something if it was me by myself. She keeps so like, yeah, so we all knew each other. I've been known Brandon and Kristina. I've been knew Bravo and Keita. In fact, Keita went to college with us at Michigan State.
Oh, dope.
Known her.
Spartans.
I've known Bravo since high school. I've known Brandon for a number of years. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
I know Christina through Brandon. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then
What about
Russell,
Kobe and Russell? Yeah.
Russell, I knew in passing, we saw each other at spots and say, "What's up?" Because we had mutual friends, but we
Okay.
never hung out, but we knew of each other and we
Y'all
spoke to each
familiar.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we wasn't boys. And then
Yeah.
Kobe and Toya had known each other through mutual friends and their sorority. But they
Oh,
weren't
dope.
hanging
Okay.
out though. But they had, we all knew about each other.
That's dope, man. And I'm glad you mentioned the Disney Marvel project because we know that was a huge part of your story in season one. The fact that the kind of the impact of your experience working on that project during that time.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to do it all over again, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you do differently about going to work on the Marvel project in Atlanta?
Well, I really just took advantage of the situation, just so you know. Like, I never
Hmm.
left Live Nation. It was COVID time, so we were on shutdown.
Right.
Weren't booking any shows. We weren't at the office. We were just doing weekly Zoom calls, and that was it. I didn't even tell them that I flew down there, got in the bubble, and was at Disney Marvel. They didn't even.
Yeah.
So I never technically left my job. I was getting two checks, and I was
Hmm.
doing every bit of it.
Smart.
Yeah. And so when I was there, I know that God sent me there to see what I saw. I had never seen $200 million sets. And
Hmm.
working on that Black Adam project was amazing to see.
Hmm.
It's construction, whole set
Hmm.
being built. The way that catering is done, the way that the even invoicing and the way that they bring in the different marketing companies, it was just on a whole nother level. And so I needed to see that so that my vision could grow. So
Yeah.
I just think that my wife gave me the blessing going. She's like, "Yeah, go do your thing,
Hmm.
whatever." But in my absence, her mother helping with the kids, doing the school over the
Video. Yeah.
yeah. And it wasn't like she didn't have a lot of help. She had plenty of help. It was the fact that, like, my mom called me. She's like, "Baby, your family needs you," because
Yeah.
I think it helped our marriage because she talks about it. I cook and clean. I drop
Hmm.
kids off in the morning.
Hmm.
I was
Hands on.
yeah, I was very hands on. Even at church, like her parents are bishop and pastor. Like, I run a media ministry there. I'm a
That's
part
what's
of
up.
like the community stuff. So it's like with so many people's affected in my absence. So,
Hmm.
and I wasn't thinking about that. All I was thinking about is building my career.
Right.
So in my absence, she's like, "This is hard. I can't do this without you." It's flat out
Yeah.
what she said. And my mom, and then when a father is gone, that's hands on like that. It hits everybody. That load comes. So I think it was a good thing for me too to, like, how, like, you don't really know what you got to is gone. And then me being
Yeah.
gone that period of time was like, oh, that really showed how much value I have as well.
Absolutely.
But it really showed like the value.
So that's actually a benefit then of that
It's been
time
a
that you spent.
benefit.
Yeah.
Our marriage
Yeah.
got stronger.
That's good, man. That's very good. And sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes you have to kind of reimagine the whole model or the whole setup to just see what will work and what won't. And y'all figured out that that didn't work. You brought your ass back home. So that's that. It was just that simple, right? All right. So, Anthony, what do you think about the conversation? Because again, a big part of the Love and Marriage franchise is like the fandom, right? There
Mhm.
are some very passionate viewers who have just really appreciated and connected themselves to these stories being told. And a
Mhm.
lot of the viewers feel like you the star of Love and Marriage Detroit, man. So what do you say to that conversation? How do you feel about people deeming you the star of the show?
I put it like this. I understand who the audience is. The
Yeah.
audience is women, LGBTQ. I hope I said that correctly. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so I never,
LGBTQ. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yep. Yep.
They know I love them.
It's all good. Yeah.
And the thing is, I never came on trying to be the star. I really
Mhm.
was just trying to push the women because I know the women needed to be the stars of the show and drive the conversation
Right.
to get the ratings and to win. I knew
Right.
coming in. I even said to the guys before, I'm like, hey, dude, we gonna have these real conversations, but I was like, y'all need to stop. Let your wives be the stars. Let them be
Hmm.
free and express themselves. And because these are strong black sisters, but at the
Yes,
same
they
time,
are.
they do love their husbands. I hope people see and resonate. They not weak women. They just have men that really are outgoing too, and they love their husbands. And the other factor is we're all men and women of God. Period. I don't even
Yep.
question that. Everybody on this show has a relationship and loves God.
Yep. Wow. And do you think that that was because typically we haven't seen a show where there's a through line of like faith-based
Mhm.
reasoning and decision making on the show? Was that intentional, do you think, to design a cast where everybody was a believer, or do you think that this is how it happened?
That was a God thing, and shout out
Mm,
Carlos. I think that God put that in front of him because low key, if people pay attention, Carlos low key could have been a preacher. If
he
you really
could.
pay
He
attention to
got a
Carlos,
word, don't he?
he got the word in him, and people better pay attention. Like he just like to have fun, and he a mess with you,
Yeah.
a little messy,
Yeah.
but the dude is very knowledgeable and know
Absolutely.
that word flat out.
Absolutely, man. So if you're okay with being called the star of the show, Anthony, what do you have to say to the people who say that you're sassy or your behavior is, you know what I'm saying, anti-typical of what the husbands usually present on a cast? What do you have to say to that notion?
I mean, my whole thing is I don't say I'm the star of the show. I say I'm the villain of the show.
Okay.
And you gonna get that. I knew
Okay.
that coming in. They know the trolls, they don't want to mess with me because they go in. When I got time, I get on there and we can have a conversation. Don't bother me one bit. I'll play with
Okay.
you. I'll play.
Okay.
It don't bother me. I've even jumped in some of the chat groups. They be like, Anthony, this TV, we just having fun. I'll be eating them up. So it's like, first of all, I want people to enjoy the entertainment.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be me because I can handle it. Some of
Yeah.
my castmates, I don't want them to deal with stuff that's going to really alter them because I do care about them. I don't want to see them suffering or altered. And I know where God has me, it doesn't bother me at one bit. So I can
Yeah.
read comments. In fact, some of them are funny. Like, I mean, I gotta admit, like some of them are hilarious. But
Yeah.
I know who I am. I'm not sassy. I'm a man,
Right. Right.
and
Right.
it is what it is.
Would you like to have a closer relationship with any of your cast members?
Um, I think that's gonna have to be a two-way thing. I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel that I have a super distance with any cast members. I just think that um I challenge people,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's certain individuals that, and I'll just say it, like people might focus on the myself and Brandon relationship. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we were always cool,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't hang out every day, but no grown man that has a family and businesses can hang out with anybody every day. But
Mm-hmm.
I just think that what got to him is he came at me, he picked the wrong one. You came at me,
Mm.
and I'm the type that I ain't gonna stop until you wave the white flag. So when you wave the flag, we straight again. I'm the type of guy, I grew up Joy Road exit 9. Me and my boy get in
Ooh.
a fight, and we can be cool the next week. I'm
Mm-hmm.
built like that. Some people are not
Mm-hmm.
built like that.
Yes, it is something about where we come from, that
Yeah.
region that just does give us kind of that push. What I loved watching was the scene of the conversation that you had with Kristina this season. I
Hmm.
think that both of you all are leaders on this show in your own way. And I
Hmm.
love the fact that y'all were both willing to play with each other in that scene, so to speak, or to actually have that conversation on camera. Did you feel like Christina was a good scene partner for you in that way? And what was your headspace like approaching that conversation with her?
I can film with anybody.
Yeah.
I believe that Christina is built for TV,
Mm-hmm.
and she films well. I think
Mm-hmm.
moments that she is very vulnerable, but the issue that I only feel the main issue that Christina or Brandon has with me is I push you to tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're still angry or have it's some residue for me telling the truth. Like you lie and you don't want to apologize for it or tell the truth. So it's just like my
Mm-hmm.
thing has just been if you just apologize and say, yo, I was wrong for that, or I shouldn't have did that, my bad, we'd have been good. I'd have kept it pushing like it was no issue. But when you continuously will lie and push a certain agenda, I'm not the type, like I said, I don't wave the white flag. So we can just keep going down this path if that's the path you want to go down.
And just to be clear, what is the untruth that you feel was told on behalf of Brandon
On Brandon,
or on
um,
Christina? Who specifically
either
are
one you want to address. It's two
okay?
different situations.
Okay.
Um, well, with Brandon, the whole situation would be the publicist. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this is how I'm gonna paint a scenario for you,
Mm-hmm.
so people can understand. You work closely with Carlos, correct?
Yes.
Y'all work together, right? So just like with B, she represented my PR, my wife PR, plus we're friends. So we work close. We talked all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you know somebody said these is, I would have never even had to say anything if you would have just left her alone. You
Mm-hmm.
made these statements. This is how you feel about this person. You don't like this person, and you say these things, and then you go and try to use them to try to boost yourself. And so I just let it be. I said, FYI, I'm not telling you what to do because I don't mess with nobody bad.
Mm-hmm.
This was what was said, and do with it what you please. I said, I really was shocked. Like, why would you do this? Why would
Mm-hmm.
you do this when somebody is in house with me? That's like anybody that work with AT Network. I'm not gonna let you play with my people. Period.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
gonna let you play with my people. Now I'm gonna let them do what they want to do, but I have to bring the information because if she'd have found out about that from somebody else or somewhere else, and I knew, she knew I knew, and
That's a
didn't,
new problem.
oh, it'd have been a major problem.
Yeah.
And then the issue with Christina only was the fact that she told Russell that I said Russell and Kobe, dragging their name through all these things. I've never mentioned their name. Russell even
Mm-hmm.
got that verified. So that was the thing. Is like nobody even came for you. We didn't press you on it. It was clear as day that lies were told, and y'all didn't even apologize for it.
Mm-hmm.
When I've made mistakes, everybody can hold me to the fire. They come at Anthony, and Anthony has apologized for his mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only
Yeah.
issue. Other than that, I don't have an issue with anybody. Everybody do their thing.
Which is great because I think a lot of times, and I've talked about this in previous interviews I've done with your cast from other cities in the franchise. I think a lot of times people misunderstand the audience as just wanting only drama and confrontation and combative situations on camera. And that's just not the truth.
Mm.
We want resolution. We would like to see people that we were introduced to as a group of friends find their way back to that. You know what I'm
I pray
saying?
that happens too in our group.
What do you think it would take, Anthony, for just specifically in the case of Brandon and Christina, for you and Dr. Thompson and Brandon and Christina to kind of find that bridge to just peace and true friendship amongst the two couples? What do you think it would take?
I already believe that there is peace on my side.
Yeah.
And for my wife, her thing is trust.
Mm-hmm.
That's an issue for her with trust because another thing is she pays attention. Like even now, when Brandon say, "Oh, we good,"
Mm-hmm.
and the fact of a lot of stuff I've helped you on, and you still trash me on social media. You know, you
Mm.
go to interviews and still trash me, but then you say, "Oh, we moving forward, we good." What really is it? You know, so not. And my thing is, I'm going to be good regardless. But
Mm-hmm.
I just think that I don't think it's a reason for it. It's no need. It's like you're really tripping the fact that I called you out on your stuff. So that's that. And I think the other thing is my wife don't have a problem with Kristina at all.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't show this. She voiced an opinion to her and Kobe. Kristina, she said the same thing to Kristina she said to Kobe. Kristina came to our house. They had a talk, powwow, whatever, whatever, pieced up, and then they didn't show it. Like they have
Mm.
but they never showed that footage. And then Kristina, what she does is she plays to the tape. So when she do confession stuff, she go by what they show. She literally
Mm-hmm.
goes by what they show. But that was if they ever show that, you will see what I mean. Like my wife has been very welcoming to
Mm-hmm.
everybody, very welcoming. And Kobe just said, I hear you. She tried to say, hey, y'all been sisters, men that. She told her to men that, but I'm not speaking for Kobe. She has some trust,
Right.
and that's just
Right.
a fact. Nobody is coming on this show to go at Brandon and Kristina whatsoever. Nobody wanted that. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
start filming, I didn't know they had so many issues with people within the city and people
Mm-hmm.
coming out the woodworks like they did this to me, they did, and I'm just like, wow, like I didn't start hearing this stuff until recently, and because of what I'm so busy doing, how would I know? I don't know who
Right.
y'all know and don't know unless we together. I don't post pictures with people if you pay attention to my social media, so you don't know who I know. So, you know,
Well, that I think brings us right to the Dobines. The addition of Marcel and Kimberly Dobine during season 2 of Love and Marriage Detroit. They were introduced on camera as friends of you and Dr. Thompson, and a lot of the viewers had questions about the origin of Kimberly and Marcel into this group, their introduction into this group, and maybe if the apparent disconnect between Dr. Thompson and Kristina kind of motivated Kimberly to join the group. Do you
yeah.
remember conversations between the four of you or between Dr. Thompson and Kimberly about Kristina before
It's
they joined the show, or did
no,
that not
it's
happen?
it's never been any conversations with the four of us because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know Marcel at
Okay.
all. Like I met him 2 times. I've known Kim since high school.
Oh wow. Okay.
I went to King High School. She went to Renaissance. Some of
Okay.
my closest friends went to school with me, and some of my cousins and friends went to school with her. So we had friend groups where we would be around each other. So
Yeah.
I've known Kim for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife got to know each other probably like 6, 7 years ago. And if you
Mm-hmm.
pay attention to me and my wife, we're private people. Like we don't post going out. We never post
Mm-hmm.
friends. You can go all the way back in our time. We never posted friends. We
Mm-hmm.
barely even post our kids.
Mm-hmm.
So and then at work, I don't post at work. Like I might put in my story, but I don't post to celebrities we doing shows and all that with because I respect my job.
Absolutely.
Marcella, he was cool, but we never had a conversation. I said, "What's up?" He said, "What's up, man?" We didn't have any zero connection. He's a cool
Mm-hmm.
dude. I know him now, and I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
I got to know him. I don't sit there and listen to my wife conversations. I don't know who she
Yeah.
talked to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't check her phone. So she told me that it was no prior conversation. Kim told, in
Mm-hmm.
fact, I asked Kim, like, Kim, what's up, dog? Did blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, 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 blah. And she's like, no, that didn't happen. In fact, Kobe and Kim had conversations, but my
Mm-hmm.
wife and Kim didn't have conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, when they came to dinner, oh, I can't say that. Never mind. I
Okay.
was like, I didn't know they were coming. How do I say that? Well, regardless, when they came to dinner,
I
uh,
get what yeah.
yeah, how order of shoot. But
Right.
when they came to dinner, I was just like, I didn't know zero about their situation. In fact, Kimber can verify and Kristina can both verify that I didn't even know they knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew they knew each other. I just found
Mm-hmm.
out recently of friends that I've been tight with for a long time that they all kicked it for a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that, so
Yeah. And
yeah.
as someone who used to live in downtown Detroit for many, many years and was heavy on the social scene, it's very easy for there to be overlap of friend groups or to have rub shoulders with someone and not know the history between the relationships, but still actually be cool with the people. It's very easy for that to happen.
One of Christina's
So,
closest friends that works with Hallmark, I've known her forever. But
hmm
that's her girl, but I've
you
known her
know
about
what's crazy? I know Alexis too.
oh,
That's
you know
my
Alex?
I
I've
know
known
her.
her forever. I mean, you see what I'm saying now? It's like
See? So yeah,
into the show, I
yeah,
didn't know they knew each other.
yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. It's incredible, but it just seems like if you're just watching the show and you're not privy to the way those social spaces kind of work,
Yeah.
it does appear, and I'm sure you can understand it. It would look like, hey, Dr. Thompson and Christina were not necessarily seeing eye to eye,
Mm,
and now we're introduced to Kimberly and Marcel Dobine through Dr. Thompson. Kimberly has a past issue with Christina that she was eager to resolve. It appeared when
yeah.
she came and sat down at dinner. And so it seems like that's Dr. Thompson's homegirl. They had some sort of conversation before she came on. So I just wanted to give you an opportunity to clear that up from
That was
inside the unit. You know what I mean? What that was.
yeah, I really, to be honest with you, I low key couldn't even hear what they were saying. I had to
Okay.
wait till we got in the car and be like, now what was this really about? Because Kim was going in. So,
Yeah.
and I had never seen Kim. I only know the sweet, bubbly, quiet, no, not quiet, friendly Kim. I
Yeah.
had never seen her. I was like, dang, I had never seen her act like that. So I was like, whoa, I want to know what's going on. Nah.
Were you, Anthony, surprised when Brandon shared with you that him and Christina had made the decision to separate?
Well, go back to season one when me and
Mm-hmm.
Brandon was on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that conversation that we had?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? When I
Mm-hmm.
said about when he met his wife and what he was going through during that time.
Mm-hmm.
I wish people would pay attention to these things too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to, I was a little concerned, meaning like all I kept thinking about is y'all are a beautiful family. And I thought about the two
Mm-hmm.
little girls. And I say
Yes.
because I come from divorced parents. My parents divorced when they started splitting when I was around 10. They divorced when I was like 12. So
Mm-hmm.
I know what that process feels like. And so those little girls are so gorgeous, so beautiful, and full of life. I didn't want them to go through that. Plus, that hurt. I don't want Brandon and Christina to feel that hurt. That hurt is just, I watched my mama walk through that.
Right.
That hurt is like incredibly painful that nobody but God can heal. Your mama
Right.
can't say nothing. Your best friend can't say nothing. That ain't nothing but some time and God healing to heal those wounds. And I knew that Brandon didn't really want a divorce. I felt like he just
Right.
wanted this way. He didn't
Right.
want a divorce. He wanted her to back down.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that prayer, and then she really stood her ground is what made things turn for the better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we
Well,
don't want to
that's
see nobody on this show do that. Or
no.
like we all are team marriage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we want to see these beautiful families. You
Yeah.
know, if it's a healthy environment for these families to be kept together, then that's what we would want to see happen
Yeah.
on the show. We saw that Brandon asked you, like, can you please kind of keep this to your chest, you know what I'm saying, until later on. And we did not see you mention that to Dr. Thompson on camera, the fact that you knew that Brandon and Christina were separated.
Mhm.
Did you really keep the secret, or did you all have that
Oh, real
conversation off
talk.
camera, or like, how did that go?
Really, regardless, I don't think that that would have been a good thing to do, period. Because the
Mm-hmm.
fact of the relationship, our relationship being so fragmented. So
Mm-hmm.
what I looked at was they need time to heal, and I for sure didn't want it to get to Kim or Kobe through me.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. Y'all ain't gonna be able to say Anthony
Mm-hmm.
told his wife, and then now Kobe and
Mm-hmm.
Lakita know. No, 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 no.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't going down like that. So
Yeah,
then we wanted to see Latoya and Christina figure out how to come to a resolution. They
absolutely.
were never friends. They were cordial. And the reason why I say they were never friends is because they were around each other because of me and Brandon.
Right.
So
That was the friendship.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they were more like, "Hey, girl," and they
Yeah.
all complimented each other because they both
Mm-hmm.
women. They doing their
Absolutely.
thing, you know, and they always,
Absolutely.
So I didn't want to contribute to that. I kind of was like, "All right, let's see if we can get them to figure this out, and we gonna go ahead and just kill the noise on us and see if they can figure this out."
Yeah, like you know what they have to call that real movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what that was. You're just real about it.
Yeah.
Now, were you aware? Because we saw the scene in this most recent episode where uh your wife, Dr. Thompson, and Kobe went to support Brandon as he was looking for the new ring
Uh-huh.
for Christina, her surprise birthday gift. And Chelsea was there as well. And
Uh-huh.
things got a little bit spirited in the conversation between Chelsea and Dr. Thompson. Were you all aware that Chelsea had some sort of issue that she was harboring that she needed to speak with y'all about, or had you not even really considered that?
I didn't.
Where was that at with you guys?
Well, Dr. Thompson never had an issue with Chelsea. I think
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea took an opportunity like, your husband hurt my feelings. I'm about to come get you. It's
Mm-hmm.
understandable. You get
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do? You try to hurt the closest person to the person.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was no need for it at
Mm-hmm.
all. It wasn't a need for it. I just think that Chelsea could have did it differently. I know that she harbored some issues with me, which
Okay.
is what made her act out. I'm not gonna say it was totally like unwarranted. I think it
Mm-hmm.
was disrespectful. I think it was distasteful. But I think that, like, when you're from the city, city girls gonna pop off.
Mm-hmm.
Especially they
Mm-hmm.
feel like you, your cousin, your mama, your sister, everybody can get it. That's just where she was coming from. She's in the pocket on that. So I
Mm-hmm.
understood it, but I know that the ladies are like, hold on, like you act like
Yeah.
we did something to you. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
no.
All
That's what
right.
it was.
Again, we like to watch these shows with the view to a resolution. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we hope to see that get cleared up as we watch the rest of the season, man. Um, you're married to your wife Latoya, who's a doctor of physical therapy. That's a very powerful position. What is your experience like? You a man of status yourself, very powerful in your own industry, entertainment, mogul in Detroit. What's your experience like being married to a doctor in that way? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you handling filling those shoes of being the head of the household with such a powerful wife and also putting it on TV for the world to see? What's that like for you, Anthony?
This gonna be funny. Like,
Yeah.
he'll smack my hand for something to say. You know how I be saying stuff. But one thing, she does her thing. She does PT for
Mm-hmm.
Tigers and Red Wings and the soccer team here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, none of our wives work full time. And I thought
Mm.
that was very misconstrued on the show. Like,
Okay.
other than men pay the bills and the head of the household, I haven't seen her pay a mortgage payment yet.
Okay.
She works hard. Like, she works her behind off, and she's built an excellent career. But I think that's what some of the fellas was kind of like, hold on. Everybody kind of dogging us like we ain't holding it down. Like, shout out to the fellas. We holding it down, fellas.
Down. Yeah.
And the women, that affords the women to go out and chase dreams and do the stuff that they love to do or want to do, because we able to do stuff on the front end, not
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that they do at all. Because it takes, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how single women do it. I don't know how single dads do it. God
Yeah.
bless y'all. That life ain't for me, you know.
Yeah.
So she does that. She does also, if you say she's full time, it's because she go to work. She works with her parents a lot. She helps run the ministry and the daycare and all that in the ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And then now she's running her Obelins Wine. So now she's
Mm-hmm.
over Obelins Wine. I took a step
Mm-hmm.
back from that. So she works doggone hard. Then plus the stuff she has to do with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So like we're both super hands on. Like every morning I'm dropping the kids off to school, she picking them up. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And I take them to practice. The boys, she take my daughter to practice. We just split up
Mm-hmm.
certain responsibilities, but it's the fact that at times I have to travel. So when I
Mm-hmm.
have to travel, these parents jump in and really help. And her sibling, I'm an only child, so we only have her.
Okay.
So, But yeah, I just
Yeah.
want to clear that up on the show though. Like, none of the wives work full time, and y'all be playing us like y'all need to stop.
Like
Like my
y'all
wife
don't work
well
full
taken
time.
care of.
Yeah.
She since we've been married, she didn't have Range Rovers, G wagons, trips,
Mm-hmm.
whatever she wanted. Same thing for Kobe and Kristina. They've had
Mm-hmm.
what they wanted. So stop acting
Mm-hmm.
like we don't hold it down.
I'm glad you cleared that up, man. So as we move forward, because obviously things are y'all are nailing it season 2. Of course, we're gonna see y'all again for season 3 and
It's way
beyond.
better. Oh,
You
season
know,
two.
what are you planning to do differently for season 3? Is there anything you plan to do differently for season 3 or anything you want to show next season? Like, what do you see for the future of Love and Marriage Detroit?
I really love. I want to see more of the family dynamics, especially
Mm-hmm.
with kids. And I
Mm-hmm.
also want to see more of showing the groups, the marriages, more of the dynamic, and have real like deeper conversations about things that
Yes.
go on in marriages. Like I like that this season, Brandon brought up like people dogged him about the whole sex thing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then the stuff that Russell and Kobe walked through about with
Mm-hmm.
pregnancy, having more
Mm-hmm.
children. And then I wish it had talked more about what me and Dr. Thompson was dealing with me furthering. She's like, you don't sleep, you work too much, and talk about me traveling and the stuff that I do in entertainment and just talking about that work-life balance because a lot of families deal with these things. So,
Tons. That's true.
like I
Yeah.
want to see season 3 that we dive deeper.
More personal story.
Personal stories.
Yeah.
And I think that, and let the guys come together and talk about marriage life because a lot of men are tapping in the show and they're like, man, and we love when you be saying that stuff, man. Keep doing that. But
Absolutely.
I want to hear the other fellas like we all talk about it together and really get vulnerable and really bring that stuff out. Just like I did when we talked about on the boat with my wife. I'm like, it ain't just about you
Mm-hmm.
and your family. My grandmother that passed away raised me. I owe people from Detroit. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I go hard. It's a lot of people that I stood on their shoulders, and I owe Detroit and the state of Michigan. I'm pouring my blood, sweat, and tears into this because I owe people. That's just what it
Yeah.
is.
Man, that passion shows, bro, and I don't think it's ever gonna go anywhere. I think that's just in you. You know what I'm saying? As a brother from Michigan, I recognize it, man. So salute to you, salute to the entire Love and Marriage Detroit cast, brother. We look
Yes, sir.
forward to seeing so much more from all of y'all. Thank you again for putting y'all's healthy black family on television. It's such a great example for people to see, man, and we want to see so much more of it, bro. So hopefully we chat
Absolutely.
again before the season is up, man.
Congratulations and much success to you, man, because Carlos about to give you a show. We already
Look, your ears to God's, your ears to your mouth to God's ears, excuse me, for real. Thank you so much, my brother. I
listen.
appreciate it. All right, take care, Anthony.